Hi, this is Kira again. Our first topic is going to be about addiction. So I'm going to give you a story and a background about my life. I was 15 when I first started dabbling in my drug of choice, which was heroin. I dealt with it on and off since I was 25. I'm 25 now. I will be dealing with it for the rest of my life. I went to a lot of rehabs, 5 total actually, and it never really worked for me. You have to want it for yourself. You can't have somebody force it upon you or do it for somebody else. You need to want it and do it for yourself. I messed around with the wrong people, and that's normally how it is, people, places, and things. I thought it was cool. I was hanging out with the older guys. I ended up catching a case in 2013, which ended in 2017. So along with me getting in and out of rehabs, I was also in and out of jail. I ended up ending my case in 2017. I do have a felon on my record. My last time I went into rehab, I ended up overdosing. It was about 6 months before I ended up going into rehab, but when I did overdose, I had a stroke. And I started noticing that I had memory problems, so I figured that maybe this time around I'll actually deal with all the things that go along with addiction, which is the physical part, which is the hardest but one of the easiest parts, the mental health, and then spiritual. So I have been seeing this neuroscientist, and for those who do not believe addiction is a disease, it is a disease, and I have a paper right here to prove it. So, in your brain, there's certain parts, and right here, in this picture, this is my brain, right there where you see the red light up, that is where addiction and everything else comes into play. So when I did have this overdose, which caused a stroke to my body, I have mild but yet moderate traumatic brain injuries. So I've been seeing this neuroscientist, and we have been working on a lot of stuff, and it's really, really interesting, and I'm very happy for him, and I'm very happy for my psychiatrist, but I have learned a lot from my neuroscientist. I do have a 2-year-old. He saved my life. He is 2 years old. He was born October 7th, 2016, and yeah, I go to meetings every week. I try to keep up. Most thing is that I try to keep up with my serenity, which is my peace. And I have, as I said, if in my story, I have dealt with a lot. And addiction is very hard, and it's very real. Also, coming along with addiction, I have had a lot of friends pass. It started in 2011, not going to name names, and I've had about 12 to 15 deaths. I just had one of my best friends, who was one of my first boyfriends. I just had him pass, and it was about 2 months ago. It was very, very extremely hard on me, and I just want all of you to know that there are people and there is help out there. And you just really have to want it for yourself. Doesn't matter what type of drug, doesn't matter if it's alcohol, but it affects everybody and mostly yourself. Also, another thing about addiction is that it brought me to one of my lowest points that I've ever been in my life, and I did some things that I never thought I would ever do. So before you pick up a drug, before you pick up anything, you need to talk to somebody, see if you can relate with somebody, see if you can tell your stories, just speak out. That is the main thing for me. And a lot of other addicts that I've met, it's the main thing is that they're afraid to speak out. You have to speak out. Thank you.